So hello everyone and welcome to season 17 here at NXTGEN, sponsored by PowerMax Racing, and here we are in the Megane Trophy Cup. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic season, I'm pretty certain of that. We've got a number of drivers in for tonight's racing, and here we are at round one at Brands Hatch. We're going to run through the drivers first to give you an idea of who's racing and what cars they're going to be driving in. Blindingly obvious for those who've looked at the title, it is the Renault Megane. So kicking things off, we've got DYO7 who's in the pits currently. KZ2 Haas in third, currently in the provisional standings, obviously still going round in their opening laps. Greener Army 2009, we've got NGR Danzo in fourth. Carterboy 99 in the number 30 livery machine there, he's fifth. Coleman is 6th, Jay Coleman 89, we've got Seamus, Slow Seamus, Zlatan is back, Kyonko Chan 1805, Shadow Stalker DBS, DMK80, Suburtus, Richard P3310 is driving the 92 Mastervolt livery, you can see there, and Snav is also there. So lap times now starting to come in thick and fast, and this man we've got currently provisional pole rather is KZ2 Haas. He's done a 45.669 and he's currently going a tenth faster at the moment. So we're going to have a ride on board with him as he comes to complete this lap, and then we'll take you on a first lap with him as he comes across the line. He's gone on a 45.3. First corner then, coming into Paddock Hill Bend. Difficult corner to get right, and you can see Haas has downshifted there from third straight back up to fourth, so he gets his line right. Comes into the difficult hairpin at Druids, comes round this corner in second gear, he's got the line relatively nicely there, hooks it up for third gear into Graham Hill Bend. Runs a touch wide, but he'll get away with that in terms of his qualifying lap as he comes now in towards Surtees, which is the quick left-hander, into McLaren, and then he'll round out Clearways. Very quick lap in terms of Brands Hatch Indy, unlike its bigger brother in terms of the GP circuit, which is obviously much more extended. Haas is going to come across the line, and let's see what lap time he does. He goes quicker again by 9 thousandths of a second, so solid lap from Haas there. Carterboy is currently second. He's driving, as you can see, the number 30 livery, sponsored there by Fast Car. You can see that's a cracking standout livery it is. Zlatan is back, is third. Danzo currently fourth in his machine there, you can see. Fifth is Kyonko Chan, running the number 32 car. You've got Seamus in sixth. Richard P 3310 is coming up towards the end of his lap. He's gone down to eighth, but he's got a nice slipstream from Greener, and he moves up to fourth. That's a very good lap time from Richard P3310 there, solid lap from himself. Good evening to everyone who is joining us for tonight's racing. For those who've never encountered NXTGEN before, we've been running for a number of seasons now, and we're obviously on our 17th as the stream entitles on the title there, and we have got our backing this season from PMR, that's PowerMax Racing. Fantastic sponsor to have on board of our wonderful little community that we've got going on. And for the lobby, the settings wise, looking at it, we've got a number of different car liveries that you can see out on circuits, specifically made for this season, so keep an eye out and we'll go through it as we run through. Couple of minutes to go in the session, we've got 5 minutes. You can see there, still with Haas at the moment. 1805 has just got himself into the 45s there, and you can see how close the grid is at the moment. From first to 10th, separated by just half a second. The whole grid practically within a second, apart from Greener Army, who will definitely want to get a shuffle on if he wants to get himself closer up the field. You can see him there in the Dread sponsored number 57 car there, and he's got Carterboy trying to get past him. He's obviously in a hurry trying to get pole. So you can see the lap times. D Whitehouse 7 now has just gone up into first place. You could see him there in the number 7 car, and he's currently got himself 1/10 ahead of Haas. And the front 3 for that matter. Oh, Zlatan, his back's gone wide and spun off at Graham Hill Bend. He's going to kick himself in that one. That seemed like he just ran onto the grass and he just off he went, around like Megane went, no problem in terms of the crash. He didn't have a crash as such. Green Army just mounting the curb a little bit there as he gets ready to go on to his next lap. Just a quick note just to say, can anyone, or rather is anyone having any audio problems in terms of listening to me? Can you hear me alright? Just leave a comment in the chat box for me just so I know what's going on. So we've got a few cars coming through. There's Carter Boy coming towards the end of his lap now. His best is a 45.4, 1/10 and a half if that, off D Whitehouse. Will he get any near to that? He does improve again. He's 7,000ths of a second off the front row currently. Just running through the field there, we've got Richard P, he's up on his lap currently. Suburtis going round Druids at the moment. Snav, I haven't mentioned them so far pretty much in the stream outside of the early introductions, and there's a huge traffic jam of cars coming up here. Greener Army doing his best to get out of the way there. Kyonko Chan, Richard P, Haas, there's a huge trail of cars all trying to get round at the same time. They've all occupied the same area of track, and yet at the moment, if we have a quick scan through, we'll see that Tanzo is the only one at the moment who's really got a free track for himself, so he's done well to avoid all the carnage, and he's using it to good effect. He's a 10th up at the moment as he comes round the final corner here. Let's see if Danzo improves. Here he comes towards the line, and he has done. He gets himself into the 45, so up there 18.05, having a huge amount of lag there as we go through the final corner, as we go through clearways, but seems to have sorted itself out. Hopefully we're not afflicted with lag during the session. Got Slow Seamus, I think he's just come out of the pits there. DMK, he's done a 46.1 as his best lap so far. Coleman hasn't done that many laps so far. He's only got 5 laps and he's gone wide into Paddock Hill Bend, and this huge train of cars you can see on the track map in the top right corner there. You could look at this going into out of Paddock Hill and into Druids. That was absolutely crazy. And this is the problem with Brands Hatch, with it being such a small circuit, the Indy variation. You're going to have an incident like we've just seen there at the back with Carter Boy. Just had a slight tap with D Whitehouse, who's our current provisional pole man at the moment. 40 odd seconds left in the session, so whether we'll get enough time to set a lap, it's going to be unknown really. If Greener Army is quick enough with the trigger in terms of starting the countdown for the final. Zlatan's gone off at Paddock Hill. Oh no, it's not Paddock Hill Road, it's Clearways, and he's gone to the pit, so that's his qualifying over. Just seeing the cars who are coming up towards the line, if we could try and get a couple on board, preferably. We've got someone who's turned round as well at Graham Hill Bend. Slow Seamus has also gone off, he wasn't the one that I'd noticed. 18.05 then, here he comes towards Clearways for the final time. Time has counted down, it's got 1 minute 26 now, so I think it's just ticked over. This is his final lap. What's his lap time? Goes a 46.2, 3/10 slower. Coleman, he doesn't improve either. What about DMK? There's a number of other cars who are coming towards the line. We've got Shadow Stalker, he's pulled over. What about Greener Army? Can he get himself a lap time? No, not anywhere near as fast, so he might have had a mistake. As all the other cars now coming towards the line. DMK, I think, the last one there to set a lap. That's way off his best lap time there. So that seems to be it for the qualifying. And there is your pole man. D Whitehouse 7 has got himself pole position. I bet he's thrilled with that in terms of getting his first pole position of the season. You can see his car there, the number 7, appropriate given his PSN name. See Haas just behind there, KZ2 Haas. He's only 1/10 behind Carter Boy, only 7,000ths off him in 3rd place. He got Zlatan on his back. He's in the number 21 Adrian Flux Renault, you can see there. Richard P, he's 5th. And there we go with the actual lobby results. You can see 12 drivers within a second as we quickly cut over to the race. There we go then. The first round of the season. 20 minutes on the clock in the right hand side. And here come the numbers. 3, 2, 1. It's live. Here we go. D Whitehouse leads us away as we go into Paddock Hill Bend. He's got a good start, and Haas has slotted himself into 2nd. Carter Boy having to defend from Zlatan, who's in the Adrian Flux machine there. Snav, oh, bit of contact between the two of them. Bertus has gone off in the background. Somehow managed to avoid everyone by the look of it. Bit of bunching going into Druids here at the moment. Richard P all over the curb and on the grass, but managed to keep himself in a straight line. And Kyonko-chan is also in 5th. Richard's just lost another place there to Snav, but D Whitehouse is in the lead currently. What a great start for him. He's going to be really chuffed with that. In 1st place, Carter Boy's in 2nd. Zlatan has gone very wide, and Kyonko-chan in the number 32 Zirko Tech car is up into 4th. Great overtake for him there. They've moved up the order well. So here we go, right the way through. Cracking scenery, as you could tell. Oh, and Snav's had a huge moment going in to Paddock Hill, and he's pushed Zlatan wide. There's a bit of contact, and I'd hate to say it, looks like he's pushed his way through, but there seems to be even more action going on. Annoyingly, we can't change the cameras again, just like the test session, so we're going to have to ride as we are at the moment. Jay Coleman in 89, he's in 8th place. Zlatan is back, he's dropped now right the way down to 9th place. He's going to be really frustrated with that turn 1 incident. Seamus is in 10th, Bertus 11th, he's gone all over the curb, he's got away with it. Danzo's 12th, Greener Army's 13th, he's a little bit away from the pack, but DMK's lost a lot of time. He's some way away from Green Army's 5 seconds, as is Shadow Stalker in number 99 Geisen Renault there, so that's problematic, and they're going to have to try and get themselves back on the pack. But the man at the front, D Whitehouse, has made a break for it. He's in the lead, he's almost got 2 seconds to the good. There's his gap. Carter Boy has got past Haas, he's in 2nd now in the fast car Renault there. 3rd is Haas, and those two are going to probably start battling. We've got Kyonko-chan having to try and now make a gap if he can to Snav in 5th. There's Richard P, he's in 6th place, 1805, sort of in the middle of his own world at the moment, but it's early stages yet. Seamus has still got Zlatan, who's dropped even further back now. He was 4th, bear in mind, at the start of this race. He's now 10th after 3 laps. Going to be kicking himself in the Adrian Flux car. Bertus is 11th, and that is Danzo just on the back of him in 12th place. So a couple of little battles are going to start producing shortly, I'm certain of it. Richard's having to defend the just from 1805. Kyonko-chan, oh, he's had a huge incident going into the corner. He's just about managed to save it, but I think Kyonko-chan has made a mistake, and I think he's been slightly tapped there again by Coleman 89, because he was 4th. And now we've got 2 wide. Zlatan's all over the grass. That's not going to work. And Zlatan is round. That's such a shame. But we have to move on, because Seamus now is still having to defend from the number 8 3M car of Coleman 89 as they come down the back's first main straight into Paddock Hill. Is Coleman close enough to have a look up the inside? He's not. Kyonko-chan has fallen away. He was higher up in the order. He must have made a mistake. That's a shame for him. Come now through Paddock Hill. Slow Seamus there in 8th place still. 4/10 up on his best lap so far. But this train now, and it has become a train, is his 6 to 11th. That's 5 cars now, all battling for position, and 18.05 has been hit off. Oh, that was unbelievable. Kyonko-chan has just sent 18.05 flying off the circuit. Unbelievable action here, coming into clearways. I can't believe what I've just seen. And he's just driven off. That's wow. Well, I'm fairly certain 18.05 isn't going to be pleased with that, but Kyonko-chan, as a result of that, is now up into 6th place. There could have been lag involved, of course. However, by this screen, what you can see, it definitely looked like Kyonko-chan went into the back of 18.05, and he's going to be really frustrated, surely, after the end of this race. 15 minutes left on the clock. We've had the first 5-6 laps down at the moment, and the field is still relatively bunched together in the mid-pack. We've got Seamus, he's now 7th, Coleman 8th, Bertus in 9th, and Danzo's just fallen away alongside Bertus from this group, so a bit more pace is going to be needed from the two. Looked like a slow lap that last time out from Bertus. Yeah, he was 8/10ths off his best, so definitely more time to come from him. Up at the front, we've still got D Whitehouse 7. He's currently leading the way. Gap's at 1.5 seconds. Was 2 seconds earlier on in the race, but Carter Boy seems to have got a grip of his number 30 fast car Renault there. Maybe he might be able to make a challenge later on in the race. Looking at the laps, he has set fast lap. Looking at the lap times, D Whitehouse responds, but Carter Boy goes 0.003 of a second quicker. And there's Haas in 3rd place. He's in the number 82. And had to see if he can make any progress. Snav's in 4th. Seems to have had a quiet race just to get through up to 4th, but he's running well in the Power Products number 11 car there, so good performance from him so far. Richard P's in 5th. Kyonko-chan's still in 6th place. Slow Seamus is still right behind him, as is Coleman 89. And Coleman having a look into Graham Hill Bend there at Slow Seamus. Couldn't quite make his move. Got a comment just there in the section saying Carter Boy on the move. Let's see what he can do. He's got the gap down again. D Whitehouse was a little bit slower that lap. Yes, 4/10ths taken out of him. So this is going to be something to watch further down the line for certain. Carter Boy is making his move. Going back through the pack, it seems Kyonko-chan and Slow Seamus are now stuck together. And Danzo is now up to 8th. Bertus is 9th, but Coleman seems to have dropped back. It's in 10th. Greener Army's running well. He's up to 11th for now, despite starting 16th. He's got Zlatan is back in 12th, 18.05, recovering from the incident from earlier on with Kyonko-chan. Shadow Stalker is running in 14th, and DMK rounds out the 15 drivers, and he is currently 3 seconds off Shadow Stalker, who's in 14th, who I think must have been involved in the collision. And 18.05 has left the session. Must be furious from what happened earlier on. That's unfortunate. So the gap, looking at the front, it's still relatively even in the last lap or so. D Whitehouse has managed to get the gap up to 1.2, and 18.05 has indeed left the room. Must be furious after what happened. Carter Boy, 2/10ths slower that last lap, but it's all to play for yet. Still 12 minutes to go. We're not even halfway through the race, so let's see how it develops. It's a real shame that we can't get the onboard cameras for tonight. Unfortunately, it seems to have just ticked over and we're not able to access them. But we'll make do, as we always do. Kyonko-chan still in 6th. He's now got Seamus right on his tail. Gap's just 2.5 between them as they go into Paddock Hill Bend. Seamus has got a very good line through Paddock Hill. Is he close enough to make a move? Not quite, not quite. Bertus in the Fuchs car, the number 23. He's in 8th. He's still got Danzo relatively attached to his rear wing. Coleman's dropped back a little bit in the 3M car. He's 10th. And he's about 2 seconds behind. He's sort of on his own. Zlatan in the Adrian Flux, he's in 11th place. And he's got past Greener Army now, who will now have to try and defend from his long-term rival, Shadow Stalker DVS, in a 99 car there. DMK seems to have closed the gap a little bit, actually, on Shadow Stalker. It was 3 seconds. It's looking like it's now 1.3. Looking at the lap times as well, yeah, definitely 4/10 faster that lap than Shadow Stalker, so that could be the battle for the wooden spoon on shortly. But the battle at the front now has closed to within 1 second. D Whitehouse is now only 7/10 in front of Carter Boy 99. In fact, that gap came down briefly. I think D Whitehouse got a better exit out of clearways there. Haas seems to be in third. I think as it stands, that's all he can do. He's just going to have to knuckle down and just try and keep hold of his position where possible. Snav's fourth, Richard P's fifth, and then there's another big gap back to Kyonko-chan, who seems to have gotten away from Suburtus now. Who has gone off there? Seamus has gone off. We haven't seen it. He was hassling the back of Kyonko-chan, but that's not the case anymore. He's now down in 11th. That's allowed Zlatan is back into the top 10. He's going to be a little bit frustrated in his works machine there. Shadow Stalker's up to 12th. Green Army, I think, has made a mistake somewhere, and he's now down to 14th. Looking at the front, back to the gap, 45.2 last time out. There's a 45 flat from Carter Boy, so he is on his way. Can D Whitehouse get himself ready potentially for a battle that's about to come his way from Carter Boy, driving the number 7 Hampshire car there? Can he hold on? Carter Boy second. He's the main rival at the moment for D Whitehouse's first win. I think D Whitehouse has just gone a bit wide into the corner, and he has. He's lost a little bit of time, but it's not too much. And this is the lead fight currently. Got Snav there in 4th place, Richard P in 5th. That seems to be the 3rd to 5th positions at the moment. Seem to be relatively calm at the moment. Kyonko-chan now distanced himself from the battling pair of Danzo and Bertus, who have moved through the field throughout the race really. Danzo in the 10 Tools number 44 there. He's being followed by Bertus. Let's see if Bertus can make any form of impression on him in the next 8 and a bit minutes. Zlatan's now up to 9th, Coleman 10th, Seamus is 11th, Shadow Stalker and DMK now getting prepared for battle for 12th place, and Greener Army has dropped to the back, and he is about to be approached by D Whitehouse 7 and Carter Boy. Important this mentally for D Whitehouse. If he wants to make sure he stays in front, he's got to try and clear Greener Army in as best the places possible. Carter Boy, obviously, he'll know that. He'll be hoping for a little small error of judgment. Whether that will happen, we'll soon find out shortly. Oh, big slide from Carter Boy there, going through the left-hander. Really good handling and car control from Carter Boy. Going through Surtees, he's done well there. Haas is still 3rd. Snaff is still 4th. Kyonko is still 5th, but he now has Danzo and Sir Bertus on the back of him, and Kyonko-chan sliding there, going through McLaren into clearways. Danzo is looking ready to go. And I've just noticed as well, Richard P must have made a mistake, because he was running in 5th, and dare I say it, the commentator's curse has come into effect and he's dropped down to 9th. Zlatan, after his earlier incident, is now up to 8th. Is there any more positions to be gained from him during the race? Might be possible. He's doing well so far. He's getting decent lap times. He did a 46 flat last time out. Richard P, though, he's on the outside for the corner. Coleman's gone for the inside of him. That could be moved on. Let's see. We're waiting for the camera to swing back round, but Richard P defends. Good clean racing between the two. Coleman's still on the outside of Graham Hill, and I think he's got the move done. Good racing between the two, but Coleman takes 9th place away from Richard P in 10th there. Here we go, even more. Danzo now all over the back of Kyonko-chan. Kyonko-chan defending to the inside of Paddock Hill Bend. Got Danzo all over the back of him, trying to do the switch back, and he's got room on the inside, but his momentum sapped a little bit from his slide there. And that's still the positions as it stands. Carter Boy has made a mistake somewhere as well, because he's dropped far away now from D Whitehouse, and that's a shame for him. He was in the lead fight, but not the case anymore. And that's Greener Army who's gone off. He's gone right the way off onto the infield section at Paddock Hill Bend. So there's D Whitehouse, currently in first place. He's driving well so far. He's got 5 minutes 40 on the clock left. Look at his lap times last time out. He's done relatively well. He did a 46.1. That's his first time out of the 45s for some time, so measure of consistency. And there's his new lap there on a 45.6. KZ2 Haas, he's in second currently. Carter Boy in third. There's Snav in fourth as he goes through the shot. Kyonko-chan is still fending off Danzo at the moment. Someone has gone off coming out of Graham Hill Bend. Is that not? It's not Greener Army, it's Shadow Stalker who's made a mistake, and Greener Army is also off the road in his number 57 car. I think he's just been lapped as well, Greener Army. He's about to be lapped for a second time by D Whitehouse. Oh, he ghosted and then unghosted at the worst time possible. I imagine D Whitehouse had a bit of a momentary panic as he went through there. Haas is second. Carter Boy there you can see in third. Snab is fourth. Kyonko-chan has got a little bit of a gap now to Danzo. Flash of the lights as he comes through clearways. I'm not sure what that was about, but it looks like Zlatan, I believe, is catching them, and he is. If you look at the lap times, he did a 45.4 was his personal best. He did a 45.7, and he is closing in on the free. Kyonko-chan roughly the same time, but this group, if they keep fighting, it's going to make it a four-way battle for the top five. It'd be a great recovery from Zlatan in the number 21 Adrian Flux car there, if he can come back into the top five. Got 3 minutes 50 to go. Going to be difficult. Let's see if that's possible. You got Richard P there in the number 92. He's in 9th. He's got Slow Seamus just behind him. Coleman in 11th. DMK 12th. Shadow Stalker 13th. He's now lapping Greener Army, who was running well earlier on, was Greener Army, but he's a couple of mistakes has dropped them away sadly from the pack. But that's your leader as it stands currently in the number 7 Hampshire car. D Whitehouse 7 could be on his way to his first win of the season. Haas still second after the problems that happened for Carter Boy. Not quite sure what happened there, but you can see on lap 18 he lost 11 seconds on his usual laps. That's a shame really. Would have been a good scrap for the lead, but it hasn't happened. And now he's just going to have to make sure he irons any more mistakes out so that Snav doesn't snatch any further positions. He's had a very quiet race to fourth, but he's drove well, drove consistently. You can see his lap times on the right hand side there, most of the laps within 3/10 of one another, so good driving from him. Kyonko-chan's now got Danzo having a look up the inside, not quite close enough. The Tang Tools car just fended off by Kyonko, but he's going to have a move up the inside. There's slight contact between the two. Kyonko-chan is gone wide a little bit. Danzo is also there on the inside. Bertus is having a look now to try and make it free going into Surtees. Kyonko's gone flying off the circuit. Was the contact? Danzo is through. I'm wondering whether Bertus and Kyonko-chan had a little touch as they came through the left-hander, but what it means is Danzo's up to 5th. 2 minutes to go, and this is the main fight now. Looking at 5th place, Danzo, Kyonko-chan, Bertus. Those are the three battling for 5th place. Any more incidents between these three, and Zlatan is back. Actually, that works perfectly by itself, as Sir Bertus is going to be all over the back now of Kyonko-chan as they go into Graham Hill Bend. You can see he's just lurking there, he's waiting for his moment. Any more incidents, and there might be some more points for him on the board. And Kyonko-chan's gone off into the gravel, and that is a bad moment for him, and everyone's gone past. Bertis has got past, Zlatan is back has got past, and he's dropped from 5th to 8th, effectively within 1 lap. He's going to be frustrated with that one, and that is going to relegate the 32 car. He's gone wide into Paddock Hill Bend as well, obviously frustrated with what's just happened. He's got 59 seconds to make sure now he doesn't make any more mistakes. D Whitehouse though, in the lead, comfortably now. And all he's got to do is just make sure he gets to the end. 30 odd seconds now left in the session. Shadowstalker moves out of the way of Snav there just to make sure he gets lapped cleanly. Danzo is 5th and Zlatan is up to 6th. I mentioned it earlier in the race. I said, could Zlatan get into the top 5? I think he might just miss out, but that's a great comeback drive from the earlier incident. We just have a look through the rest of the field, making sure nothing else is occurring at the moment. D Whitehouse though now on his last lap. He got it on pole. He drove well during the race. He fended off Carter Boy earlier on. Snav has now reached the finish line. He's 4th. Zlatan is back. He's going to try and make a move on the final lap as he come out of clearways. He's got the momentum. He's got 5th. I said it earlier on and he's only gone and done it. Danzo's 6th. Bertis is 7th. We've got Kyonko Chan, Richard P and Slow Seamus rounding out the top 10 there. But here comes D Whitehouse 7. What a result for him. Great drive from start to finish. An easy winner of round 1 at Brands Hatch Indy. Great result. Haas comes home in 2nd. He took advantage of the mistake from Carter. He gets the great 2nd place podium there. And Carter Boy rounds off the podium places. He'll be kicking himself after that mistake. It should have been 2nd at the very least, but 3rd today. Great result for Dave. He'll be really chuffed with that one. Greener Army currently in the gravel as it stands, but he's got himself out in the Dread sponsored car. He's gone back into the gravel. Not sure what sandpit he used to play in, but he's found another one and he's got himself out of it. Away he comes now as he crosses the line. He gets himself the result. So there we have it. D Whitehouse 7, the winner of the first round of the PMR Megane Trophy. Great result, great drive from D Whitehouse. He'll be pleased with that. Pole and the win. Great driving. And that's it then for tonight's race here in the Megane Trophy. Brilliant results for the Whitehouse. He'll be well happy with that, to say the least. We'll be back next Thursday, same time at 8 o'clock, and we'll be at round 2, which will be for this season. Kyoto Driving Park at Yamagiwa is round 2. Brilliant result for the Whitehouse. He'll be hoping to go and get a 2nd victory, but everyone else will be no doubt challenging him. That's all for tonight. Have a pleasant evening. See you next Thursday.